Hi everyone, this is Janelle from the Customer Success team at Funnel, and today I wanted to talk to you about datasets and how to work with them. So the issue we're trying to solve with datasets is that with CRM data, the data is not always looking within the parameter of just one date. We have MQLs that turn into SQLs that become close one, etc. And each of those events will happen at a specific date. But for CRM data, all the data is attributed to the creation dates. This means that if I create a new deal in HubSpot and then it stays as an MQL for 2 years, and then it becomes a closed one after 2 years, the date of this closed one will be attributed to the date the object was created 2 years ago. So for example, for non-CRM data such as Facebook or Google, when we import something such as cost, everything is attributed to one date. But through data sets and for CRM use cases, for the first time in Funnel's history, we're creating brand new data within Funnel. So there are two main questions you should ask yourself to see if data sets is needed for you. Do you have CRM data? And if yes, are you struggling with attribution dates? If that's the case, then it is very likely that this would be needed for you. So jumping into the Data Explorer here, as you can see, I have it set up where you can see the deal name, the close date, the create date, and number of deals, just to kind of show you an example of what I mean by it is always attributed to the creation date. So here I have my date set for January 2024. And as you can see, the create date is all in January 2024, but I have deals that are closed in February, that are closed in April, other February deals, so on and so forth. So as you can see, I'm not really getting the accurate date range that I want to see for this number of deals. So this is not an accurate number when it comes to looking at the close date because, as I mentioned, since we want to see for January 2024, but it's attributed to the create date, this will be in January 2024, but you'll get all these deals that were actually closed at a different date. So jumping into the data sets, I've created one already here called count for close one, taking into account HubSpot deals. So I'll walk you through how I created that. So since this is just for taking into account the closed one, I named it count for close one -HubSpot. And then I'm using the data source type for HubSpot deals in this use case. And then you can choose which dimension you would like to take into account. So since for this case it's close date, I've set it as close date. Just a side note, since this is demo data, some of these names may not be the exact names that you'll see your fields named within, Funnel itself or your HubSpot data sources. But just so you kind of get the general gist, this would be set to the close date, but you can also put the SQL day or whatever else you would like to create a data set for. And then we would create a metric called count close date. And then you can also choose additional breakdowns. So I chose just to do by the deal name and traffic source, but again, you can choose whatever dimension you would like to break it down in additionally. So we can go ahead and save that. And then we can jump back over into the Data Explorer. So I've created this view right here. I can reload this. Perfect. And now, as you can see, I've pulled in my count close date in my data set. So you would just go into your choose fields and it would come up here in the data set section for you to pull in. And here you have the accurate number of the amount of deals that were closed in January 2024. So basically, it took this number and counted it in to this data set. So now, all of the deals that you have, so let me filter this out, for example, for this deal name. So as you can see, you have one count for the close date, and as you can see here, it was indeed closed in January 2024. And then you have one count here for the number of deals for the creation date, since it was created in January. And then you can also filter it out since I chose the additional breakdown of a traffic source. You can also include that into the Data Explorer to see where this deal came from, what traffic source it was from. And you can check out the date there that they're in January. And as a quick recap, The issue with CRM data is that everything is always attributed to the date when the object was created. With CRM data, we import deal, company, contact, etc. And it creates lots of problems when you have to look at everything from the moment that it was created instead of when it closed or when it was an MQL or an SQL or whatever it may be. So in the end, you have to use data sets to get the accurate dates and counts for these figures. All right, thank you so much. And if you have any further questions, please reach out to our support team at support@funnel.io or in our in-app chat. Thank you.